watching Diecast Breakdown with Chuck Ellis, David Johns, and Mark McHotwheel. So sit back, strap in, and hang on. The breakdown starts now.
Well, hey there, folks. Chuck here, and welcome to another episode of Diecast Breakdown. We're wrapping up 2024. It has been an eventful year in the world of diecast, and we are going to break down what we think are the coolest diecast castings of 2024. But before we do that, we should call them like the breakies or something.
No, we shouldn't.
No, we should not call them that. Anyway, but before we do that, I am going to give a shout out to our executive producer level patrons that make this show go. If you want to know how you can join their ranks, you can visit diecastbreakdown.com. A special shout out to our executive producer level patrons. We got some changes going on here. First and 64th Customs, Dane Self, drivendreams.org, Jason, and new patron, you may have heard of him, Louis Big Lou Tanahara, has joined the executive producer level ranks. So I guess we're, officially cartoon material now. Mad Visions, thanks, Phia. Mike's Mods and Customs, reviews through another lens. TWYCE Diecast, video productions, and of course our extra special patron, Derek, who is also a patron. Thank you, Honest Diecast. There is a change to our associate producer level patrons. We are saying farewell only as a patron to Maple Leaf Customs. Andrew has been an amazing supporter of the channel from before the show even existed. He was following Flying Valiant builds and a contributor, one of the first patrons to this channel, and we are sincerely grateful to him for all he's done, and we're excited that he is going to continue watching and listening and chiming in. But we appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you for the hundreds of dollars that you sent towards this project. We are very grateful to that. And with that out of the way, again, thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, all of those things. And we will get on with the show now. I have got three wonderful gentlemen joining me today to break down the greatest castings of 2024. We're going to start to my right, your left. I don't know. Mr. David Johns.
We'll see.
Diecast, how the heck are you?
I'm good, Chuck. Favorite episode of the year. I'm going to go ahead and say it because we actually get some talent on this show. So thanks to the other two guys that are about to be introduced for leveling us up today.
I know we are a stacked cast. The stars, the sky is empty tonight because the stars are all on Diecast Media Network. Honest Diecast, Derek is joining us from HDHQ. Derek, how the heck are you today?
I'm doing good. It's good to be with you boys on this end of year broadcast. I remember we did this last year. It was a lot of fun, and I'm just happy to be back. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And our co-creator, co-conspirator, colleague, and friend, Phia of Mad Visions. Thanks for being here, Phia. How you doing today?
Doing great. Just happy to be here with you guys. And this is my first time with the end of the year thing, so I'm excited.
We're going to have to call Phia. Hey, Phia needs to be the postmaster. He does all of our posts.
He does.
Audience.
If you see a community post, it is most likely Phia. So again, thank you, Phia, for all you're doing for helping. And Derek is also an honorary contributor to Diecast Media Network. When he can, he posts some stuff. So we're grateful for that.
Absolutely.
But now that we're done patting each other on the back, we're gonna talk about the year. So there's all these people that are live in chat with us right now. We appreciate you guys being here. When you're not talking about your opinions in Green Bay, be sure to chime in on Tiny Cars as well, because we want to hear what castings you enjoyed the most of 2024. But Derek, you've had a really eventful year. So let's start with you. We already talked with David on the last episode a bit about his takes on 2024, but Derek, what has been your take on the world of diecast in 2024, both from a personal level and from the community as a whole?
Well, from the community as a whole, saw some really crazy stuff. Hot Wheels just blowing out new castings left and right. It was really, really, really exciting year, especially, unfortunately for the JDM collectors, we reaped the biggest benefits as usual. But overall, some really good, really cool castings. And then, of course, the explosion of cartooned. I mean, who knew that it was going to just go that big that fast? But Lewis has done a phenomenal job with that brand, and it's great seeing that grow. And then, of course, premium brand diecast is just constantly cranking out, especially like the likes of Kaido. Kaido is just nearly impossible to keep up with nowadays, especially if you're going after the limited blacks and all the exclusive pieces. But good luck to you if you are. And yeah, just an amazing year, and I'm really excited to see what 2025 brings.
Well said, Derek. All right, Phia, what about you? What has been your vibe on the world of diecast in 2024?
Honestly, I kind of been out of it. I get to see, I pay attention to what's coming and stuff like that. But as far as hunting and getting involved with the community, it's been lacking this year. But like Derek said, it's pretty crazy to see how much cartoon has exploded onto the scene. I'm actually very excited to see what they have coming up in the future, especially if they start getting that JDM stuff in. And that's really going to skyrocket them into the scene even more than it is already. But yeah, as far as the releases and stuff with everything, I mean, most stuff I think has been pretty good. I've been seeing a lot of like repeat, reliveried cars and stuff when it comes to the premium brands. I mean, you get some brands that drop some new ones here and there, but for me, I think I've been seeing a lot of just re-releases this year with some of the premium brands. But yeah, Hot Wheels have been banging out some really good castings this year.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll say, especially the team Brendan over at the RLC Club has really knocked out some really good ones. I could have easily picked 3 of the RLCs this year and been fine with it, because they've just been really good. He's really been up in the game on some unique castings and some innovation that's going on over there. But we're looking at the community as a whole, and y'all picked a lot of Hot Wheels, so I decided to pick a few from the outside. But yeah, I agree. It's been a really big year of change in the community. And I think, I don't know if it's just because I've become much more involved in the community over the last year, but, David and I got to go to our first Hot Wheels Collector Nationals this year. So that was a big change for Diecast Media Network, having a presence there, having a presence at the Diecast SuperCon, actually getting this channel out in the community as opposed to just reporting on the community has been really huge. We've had a lot of really great guests. Been really grateful to all the support from people who have sent guests our way and guests who have referred other guests. It's been a really wonderful year for us. But yeah, I'm really excited about all the up and coming diecast brands. I love how the technology has made things much more affordable to make really high quality castings. That's become pretty evident. And, I think that's going to be great things for our hobby. And in fact, I think by this time next year, David might actually say something crazy like, now has never been a better time to be in a diecast collector. David, what do you think?
Sure.
Sure. I like it.
No, I think you're right, Chuck. I think look, I don't know why, but man, we have an embarrassment of riches right now in our hobby. I don't think other hobbies are keeping up with technology as fast as our hobby is, and how quickly that means. When you were talking just a second ago, I was thinking of Hayden at HHW Customs. We all know him. We all love his stuff. Cartoon drops in February of last year. Hayden probably had 3D stuff cranked out by freaking March. I mean, the ability to offer customizers cool things to do with their models immediately after a release is out. Derek, like turbos and stuff on the back of your Porsches. I mean, just how cool is it that you can do that right away, and you're not waiting a year for something to roll out from some factory.
Yeah, Hayden's a beast. I could not believe how fast he came out with cartoon stuff in 3D print form. Yeah. I mean, interiors, and I think it comes out with like some frames and some other additional pieces. And man, dude's a genius.
Yeah, and he does them all himself too. He designs these things from scratch. They're not, him buying other people's designs and modifying them. So, yeah,
Yep.
he's been a really cool part of the community. It's really really awesome seeing him take off. He had a thing he did with Larry. He and Larry did
Yeah.
a thing this year where they
It's crazy, man.
did some customs, which was really awesome. So Larry Wood, legendary Hot Wheels designer, and our boy Hayden, which I just bought a ton of stuff from him during his Black Friday sale. A bunch of 3D printed parts from him. So I'm really excited once I get my shop back up to be building some of his stuff again.
Back in the booth.
I was tempted to have him as one of my top 3 picks, but we're limiting these to diecast castings, so I'm going to try and follow the rules here. Before I get too much farther and I forget, remember folks, drivendreams.org. Go check it out. We're almost at the end of the year, and we got ways to go if we're going to hit our number. So go visit drivendreams.org. Donate cars to Toys for Tots. Now's the time to do it. Salvation Army, Samaritan's Purse, your local church. I gave mine to my local church. They actually mentioned today from the pulpit, they were like, we had to wrap a lot of cars. I was like, yeah, you did. You had to wrap a lot of cars.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, exactly. So check it out. It's a really cool project that our co-host Mark is doing. He wishes he could be here today, but he is working really hard to wrap up the year. So, go check that out and go make one car equal one smile. So, all right. We are here to talk about our favorites from 2024. We're going to do a round robin style. So we're going to start with Derek, and then we're going to go to Phia, and then David, and then me. So starting with you, Derek, tell us why this is your pick for one of the top diecasts of the year. And I think I know why.
I don't think you have any idea, Chuck. But yeah, so my 3 picks, I really had to think about this for a second and figure out if I wanted to go into the world of premium diecast, but I just decided to keep it with Hot Wheels because, as we've said a couple times on this show already, Hot Wheels is just cranking out so much new good stuff, and this is one of them. This is one of my top picks right here. This is the 97 Toyota Supra RLC. Now, I know a lot of people are having some issues with theirs. Rear quarter panel windows, windshields. Actually, if you look at this one on the picture, you can actually see the gap that a lot of people are complaining about. And one of mine does have that. No big deal. But I think the effort and the ingenuity of Hot Wheels to realize that, hey, our collectors really want a factory style Mark IV Supra. Yep. And boom, here it is. I think overall they did a really, really good job from it. And if this by chance moves on to premium line, I think they'll go through and they'll fix the couple of issues with it so far. But beautiful blue. Everything is real about it as far as factory options. You got the RSP blue, which is Royal Sapphire Blue Pearl. And then the seats were also, they really did come in that color. I know a lot of people are saying they want black, but overall, it's about as real as you can get. Engine details really good. Opening hood, really, really good casting for sure.
Do we know who designed that one? Is that Brendan?
I don't know. I don't know for sure who designed that one, but it is a, from a design standpoint, I really like it. I agree that it's nice that it's more of a stock style Supra, and it has the lift off top, which Auto World made a very, very good Supra, an excellent Supra for the money. But it ain't the same without the flame, as they say. And this one has that, opening hood and that lift off target top type thing. And that's, pretty sweet. So this is the one that I really regret not getting. I was trying to order this one and I was out of the house and on my phone. And by the time I tried to order it, it was gone. And so I'm going to have to wait for it to come out as a recolor. But that is the one this year that I wish I hadn't missed out on.
So this,
get pretty much all the others.
This says Asayo Suzuki, maybe? I probably butchered that, but that is your Hot Wheels designer on that.
Okay.
Is it?
Well,
I see Brandon Vituski on the.
Do you?
Yeah, I see Brandon Vituski under.
Maybe I'm looking at the original car. My bad.
Fandom.
Yeah.
I'll just throw this in here really quick too. A lot of people complaining about the wheels. I actually I got a second one of these and I opened it. the color of these 6 spokes, these TE style wheels on here, it's, I don't think my camera is going to do it justice either, but it's really a different shade, and they did a really good job with the shade of these wheels too. So
Yeah. Looks good.
they are not the same. They are not the same from anything that you'll find on any kind of real riders. So
You
they
do
did a good job.
there.
What's that?
Can you spin it in your fingers real quick?
Sure
Let us
thing. Sure
see
thing.
the whole thing.
Sure thing.
Headlamps look good. Badge looks good.
Yeah.
So you get a different color dashboard on that?
The dash is actually black, which is correct. It should be black.
Yep. Cool.
Center console is black. It's basically just the seats, just the front and rear seats that are that color, and those were an option.
Mhm.
That was actually a pretty popular option for that color. So
Mhm.
You can't deny that RLCs always look better the closer you get them, like in hand, and the closer you look at them, they really get better and better the more you look at them.
yeah,
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
if you open them.
yeah.
Yep.
They did a good job with the exhaust details too. Really
Oh,
good.
that's cool. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
factory style exhaust, but very nice.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see a version of this done in the elite style format too. I think
Oh,
that would
definitely.
Oh yes, indeed, fabulous idea.
yeah. So, all righty. Well, that is Derek's first pick. We are going to go to Phia's first pick, and it's a brightly colored little Honda number.
I wonder why
Phia,
he
tell-
picked this one.
Tell us about
All right.
this one.
So I actually, all three of mine, I went based off of mainline series, premium series, and RLC online series. But the reason why this one is my number one is because I actually bought a FL5 Civic Type R this year. So
Mhm.
kind of biased, but this, I mean, overall, they actually did a very good job on the casting. If you
Mhm.
compare it to the Mini GT, the size is actually pretty equal, and they're pretty close to being the same.
Yeah.
It's a little bit bigger, a little bulkier than the Mini GT, but I mean, overall, for a Hot Wheels for a $6 car, I mean, they did an incredible job on it,
Mhm. Yeah.
and
It's been a
replicates
hot
the
one.
real one.
Yeah, it's been a hot one. I haven't seen it on the pegs at all, and I've seen the other ones from that casting, from that lineup. Was it the Was this the Boulevard?
Yeah, this is the Boulevard.
Yeah, this is the Boulevard. So, yeah, that's a really cool casting. And the newer stuff isn't really my thing, but I gotta recognize that they did a great job on the details there. The front grille looks really good, and for a $6 car, like you said. Derek's waving one in our face right now. We got
Pia's
dueling.
got it. Pia's got it.
We got
I'll let
dueling.
Pia-
We got dueling.
Well,
Dueling show
this
offs
is
here.
the Mini GT on the right, and then this is the Hot Wheels on the left.
Oh wow, we got visual aids
So-
here.
So
Yeah.
the Hot Wheels on the wheels, guys, those 5 spokes, have they always had like the lug nuts detail in there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, very
that's,
nice.
that's a great choice, Pia. And that was absolutely one of the hottest ones this year.
Mhm.
Mhm.
All right, David, you're going premium on us, so lay it on.
All right. So I think that Adrian and Para64 did fans of this car a real solid by rolling out this Pantera. To my knowledge, I know Hot Wheels had a few Panteras out. They had
Mhm.
premium. I think they had a Boulevard, if I remember
Yep.
right. And didn't they have a main line as well?
They had a silver series.
Okay.
That came out.
So before this, you had a really awful Matchbox. You had you just had some pretty bad castings, and you had a real early Tomica, what they used to call Tomica Premium, I believe, and that was about it for collectors of premium
Mhm.
models. So Para 64 is who did this one, and I love it, man. It's just an underrepresented car. As I'm looking at it now, this thing has lens tail lamps, not headlamps. Just loads of detail. Tires are spot on. Wheels are spot on. I love the graphics on the car.
Mhm.
It's period correct for the vehicle. Do we have any Pantera fans in the chat? And you two guys that are joining us, any love for Panteras that you guys want to share?
I've always liked the Pantera. You know, it's a 351 Cleveland powered muscle car by any other name, hidden in a supercar body. I think it's a really cool concept. I heard they handle terribly, but you know, I've always liked the look of them. They're like an American Ferrari in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, I just love that, we have all these brands now doing vehicles that a lot of us as a kid, man, this was a pretty wild vehicle. I'm older than a lot of you guys, but this was out there when I was a kid. It was right up there with the Countach, later a Testarossa. It was about as exotic as I could remember.
yeah.
But as far as me, I gotta say, I don't know much about the Pantera. Muscle cars, like since starting collecting cars and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm still going down the rabbit hole of different brands, different models and stuff. So Pantera, I really don't have no opinion on that.
Yeah.
But they look cool. They look very cool.
I think the chat is talking more about the band Pantera than the actual car, but they both rock in their own way. So
well said.
All right. Well done, David. So here's my first pick. I think M2 has really been crushing it lately with some of their new castings. And aside from the weird thing where their beds on their pickup trucks are super shallow, I don't know what that's about. But they're other than that, they rolled out this their new tin grill casting this year. And this version in particular is the 1979 version, which has the pick 'em up truck trim package, which was a real trim package you could get from Dodge called Pick 'em Up Truck. And it had that really cool yellow, orange, and red graphics on it. And you know my love of that graphic style. And they've released it in a whole bunch of different castings. The M2 Christmas ornaments that are O'Reilly exclusives have been impossible to find. They're getting hoarded by the employees. They're, if they do make it to the shelves, they're selling out immediately, and especially the power wagons. They have been just flying off the shelves. Incredibly popular casting, and I loved this setup that they did with kind of a project car that's not really like a rusted out project car. Like this is one that's kind of mid progress that somebody's been working on that might be like a ratty muscle car that's going to the track. So I think that's a really cool setup. So that was my my first pick, and it's not because I happen to own a Dodge truck of this era during this time period.
I like it. Are those wheels kind of knobby, aren't they?
Yeah, they got their 4-wheel drive tires on this one. M2 has a really good variety of tires and ride heights on their vehicles. They have kind of a modular system with their chassis, and have very smartly done their truck castings with split beds so that they can, remove the bed and have the front be on like a car hauler. I almost picked the Maui and Sons set that they had that had the, truck with the ramp on the back, and then it had a Jeep with a surfboard on it, which was very, very cool. But I got to go with this one because I just love that color scheme, and I love the pairing of it with a project vehicle. So that was my first pick.
I wonder. Hold on, real quick. I wonder if the M2 made the bed like that for because like they have the lower body style, so to be able to compensate for the lower base.
Yeah, maybe like if they wanted to do a slammed version, which they have done a slammed version of it. So
yeah.
Phia and Derek, as customizers, just your gut reaction when I ask this. Can y'all ever use M2 wheel sets on your customs, or does it just not work for the style you guys do?
Oh yeah. When I first started customizing, I actually drilled one of I can't remember which casting I drilled, but it was some form of gasser casting, and I put it on on one of the 55 Bel Air gassers for Hot Wheels. It turned out pretty good. They're not the best rollers, but not the smoothest wheels, but they work. They work for sure.
Cool. All right.
And as for me, I've never, I don't really typically do muscle cars for custom, so I can't really say I've ever used it. But I think the axles on M2s are a little bigger than Hot Wheels, right?
A little bit. Yeah, they are.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a little hurt that David didn't recognize me as a customizer, but that's okay.
You're so much more, Chuck.
You're in another league.
I haven't really had a chance to do mini customs this back half of the year, but I'm looking to change that. But yeah, I like M2s because first of all, they use a screw base, so you don't have to drill them. Second of all, everything's very easy to take apart on them. So they are great donor vehicles, especially if you're doing like a Mad Max style Gaslands Car Wars type thing. But yeah, the axles and the custom sets, and especially like I just picked up one that was a Mercury Cougar set it came with like 3 different sets of drag wheels, like slicks and narrow front end ones, and plus it had wheels already on the car. So it came with 4 sets of wheels, and the whole thing was like $10. And I was like, well, shoot, it's worth it just for the wheels and axles. So, yeah, I think M2 is coming out into their own. And I've noticed not as many QC issues in the ones that I've seen. And maybe that's just me, but I've been keeping an eye on them because I know people like to poke fun at their QC issues, which again, I think is largely due to people just knocking them around in Walmart. You're used to seeing them in Walmart, and people just knock those things around, and they're on the floor constantly, and so they're just getting beat up. So but yeah, like Jack Goldenberg says, M2s are great. You can always get extra parts on the box. Yeah, exactly. All right, that was my pick. We're going back to Derek here. Let's where is it? Here it is. Let's go. Boop.
So sorry, I had to steal this one from you, Chuck, because I knew that you were going to pick this one. I'm just kidding. But yes, the Modern Classics Nissan Skyline R32 Pandem. So of course, not your average R32. A lot of people know that this is Pandem kitted, so it is wide body. It's an iconic kit. And honestly, I've already drilled one apart. I've already customized one. And I think Hot Wheels did a really, really fantastic job with this casting. It has a front mount intercooler in it. It's not part of the base, which makes it really easy for us customizers to be able to switch that out, put a custom one in, or build a custom one. And the interior was quite possibly the most impressive part because the roll cage is completely separate. It just sits on top of the interior base, and it's really, really well put together, really good proportions, very good detail. There's a reason why you have such a hard time finding these on the pegs. But I think they did an absolute favorite casting. And if it wasn't for my next pick, this probably would have been my number 1 overall.
Mm-hmm.
Got
I
it.
love that
Yeah,
one.
I mean, no, it's a solid choice, Derek. What a really cool car.
Yeah.
So that's your version?
That's my first one. That's my first rendition of it.
It's
Had to do the
beautiful, man.
iconic Pennzoil livery, but yeah, you can see the cage in there. It just sits on the top.
Mhm.
Again, front mount. You can just chop it out, make a really nice detailed one. But yeah, very, very nice. Spoilers,
So the-
plastic, comes out nice and easy. No big deal.
Are the front lamps decals?
No, that's hand painted.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
All right, hold that right there, because that's awesome, Derek.
Thank
Awesome.
you, sir.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Thank you, sir. I try my best.
Oh, you nailed
yeah.
that, man.
Yeah, a lot of
Steady
people use the water.
hands.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a lot of people use the water slide decals. I always try to hand paint them on unless they're just absolutely a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that the SRT, the what is it, the Charger Hellcat, those taillights, those are impossible to hand paint. You got to have water
Yeah.
slides for those.
Yeah.
That's the first one I can think of.
Speaking of Hayden, I think Hayden's got water slides for those. He's got a ton of front and rear headlight and tail lamp decals, and they're nice. If you can't hand paint like Derek can. So, but yeah,
Definitely save a lot of money hand painting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, this the reason why I did the Pennzoil one first is because I'm getting the N064 version of that. There's an N064 Pop Race collab, and it's pretty pricey. It's not in my N064 collection yet, but I was like, I got to do that one first. So I'm doing that one. I've already got my next one stripped. I'm doing a Calsonic one next. So
Mhm.
That's gonna be nice.
yeah.
Some pretty famous rides, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Phia, number 2.
All right, we're hopping on to main lines. All right, so
Speaking of iconic,
yeah, right here, very very iconic racing livery here. 2024 came out with a lot of great mainline castings, but I don't think there's one as iconic as the Mazda 787B with the renowned livery on it. If anybody's ever played Gran Turismo, everybody knows that this is one of the most popular car in Gran Turismo, and the fact that they use the fact that they did the wheels the way they did just to recreate the actual 787B in real life, I think they absolutely nailed this one. But yeah, this is my number one. And the main line actually I think looks better than the Super Treasure Hunt minus the wheels because it's more realistic. As you know, it's not Spectre Flame; it's actually orange.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Super Treasure Hunt always gets an extra perk.
Sure. Yeah. It's
Absolutely.
beautiful casting.
you know, I would love for guys that hunt to tell us in the chat, you know, if this was like one of the really tough ones to find out on the pegs if you're hunting for supers. I gotta think that this was one of the highlights of the year, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's one of the slept on ones. Like the 83 Silverado kind of took, you know, everybody's attention, but like I guess if you don't know the history of the 787B, you probably won't care for it. But I think majority of the people who's collected has played Gran Turismo or know a little bit about the racing histories and stuff. They know that this one is a very iconic car. So, but I think it's a super that slept on.
Well, and
All right.
square bodies are the American R34 people. Like they'll just like swarm on anything square body. So not that there's anything wrong with that. The square body's cool. I get it. You like things that are designed with a ruler. Great. But but yeah, they're a little enthusiastic. So and I don't blame them. If
That's
my
a great,
favorite,
great choice, Phia.
All right, David, you've got a special interrupting.
Yeah, we're gonna go to. All right,
method.
look, I'm gonna set this up. I'm not gonna tell you my pick. I'm going to allow the chat to figure it out. This is a high performance version designed by Chris Stevens, designed for track performance. This is a Hot Wheels, by the way. It is powered by a 5.0 Coyote V8.
That narrows it down.
Pistons, unique crankshaft design, 6-speed, 500 horsepower. Any idea? We're talking about a new Hot Wheels casting for 2024. What vehicle that might fit? And I'm not going to be the one to tell you. I'm going to throw it to one of the guys in the chat right now that we all know and love, and he'll tell you which car it is.
How are we going to do that?
If he hasn't already done it.
What is up, guys? Of course, Mustang Hunter Diecast favorite car of 2024 has to be the new Dark Horse. What is yours?
Boom.
I love that he made that for us. That's amazing.
Thank you, Jason. Always
Jason.
doing the most for the community. I love this car. I love the matte blue. I love the stripes, the lights. Check out the headlamps on that. Derek, Phia, you guys probably buy more Hot Wheels than I do. Curious to know your thoughts. What a cool selection, first off, for them to do the Dark Horse. And then did they pull it off? I want to hear from you guys.
I think they did an amazing job on this one. Speaking of the Mustang, the GTD just set the record. I want to say it set the American car record at Nürburgring for like 6 minutes 57 seconds.
I did see that.
So I think that's only going to push the popularity of this Mustang here. But yeah, overall they did a great job. Headlights was perfect. I want to say it has taillights as well.
It does.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
It does? Okay.
I think it does. Yeah, because they didn't do anything on the side, so they could do front and back.
Yeah, if this ever comes on to premium or RLC, I think it's gonna fly off the shelf like hotcakes. Kind of like the GT500 Code Red, that sold out really fast.
Yep.
Yeah,
Jason, Mustang Hunter confirms it does have tail lamps as well.
Yes.
Go ahead, Chuck.
I was just gonna say it's funny that you picked this one because I was literally I just bought one a few days ago. I was walking through Walmart and I found one that somebody had discarded, not even in the Hot Wheels area, it was in another section of the toy department, and picked it up. And I was like, you know what? That looks really good. And I hadn't really had a chance to see it up close. And, I'm not really a new Mustang guy. No offense, Jason. But I was just like, this is a really good looking casting. I got to get it. And, it's got, even the mainline wheels look really good on this thing. And, but, I'm a sucker for a matte paint job as well. So
no joke, man.
I think
that color is perfect.
A great pick for 2024 car. So
boom, there you go.
What does he
Yeah,
do?
I think it's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, Chuck, that satin kind of matte color blue.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what they come out next for recolors of this. But yeah.
Hey, you gotta crack that open. We gotta see a close up on that.
Okay. Because I picked it up to do a custom on one, so I have no problem with that.
Oh boy.
There we go.
Look at that. Look at it, sir.
Would you just look at it? But yeah, full front and rear deets, badging, license plate.
Yeah.
Yep, license plate. License plate says
not a vet.
I must be getting blind, but yeah, I can't read it. It's too small. But yeah, very nice. And then we're talking about the GTD. Now this one is friggin' sick. How about that?
Look at
that one.
Yeah. And yeah, Phia, you're right. Nürburgring record beat my beloved Porsche GT3 RS, but hey, that's okay.
Mustang Hunter says DRKHRS is the
it says
plate.
Dark Horse. Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Katy Perry, I think.
Jesus. Oh god, yeah. Katy Perry and Juicy J.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. They totally nailed that. They totally nailed that casting.
Yeah.
All right. Mustang Hunter knows his stuff. Good call, Jace.
All righty. So I think it's my turn now. So this is one that I stole from David here. But it's the Auto World Ford Probe. I think this was a really great casting that was slept on this year.
I never found it.
Yeah, I never found it either. So it must have been popular, but it is available. I had to go on eBay today to make sure. I was like, did it actually release? And yes, it did actually release. I just couldn't find it anywhere. Again, just really, I picked this one because it's just a testament to round two really kind of expanding their reach as far as going into the 80s and 90s and the cars that we grew up with. And they did a really great job on a bunch of them, but we already picked the Celica Supra, so I'm picking the Ford Probe this time around.
You know what, guys? I'm excited because we get closer and closer every new casting to a 97 Paseo convertible for Rico. I mean, we've never been closer, Rico. Hang in there, man.
Long enough timeline.
So a Probe, this is freaking awesome, man. I mean, they have given us an Eclipse. We've got a Fiero coming, and we've got this Probe. Wheels look money on that. It's an interesting design, Chuck, on the quarter glass. I can't figure out what's going on there. How does that work with that door frame?
I think that was how the actual car looked. I'm not exactly sure, but the way Auto World does things, I would imagine that it's pretty true to what the original car looked like, and maybe it's just because it's in miniature, it stands out more. But yes, David, by the way, which Fiero is coming? Late model GT. They are doing the early model. You can go back and watch our episode with Chad Reed a few weeks ago and see the actual thing. We got the exclusive release on that, which was super cool. But yeah. And as Mustang Hunter Diecast pointed out, the Ford Probe almost became the Ford Mustang, but cooler heads prevailed over at Ford, and they continued with the V8 powered rear-wheel drive look. And
very popular car back in high school.
Oh yeah, yeah, there were a ton of those in high school and college parking lots in the 90s and early 2000s. But yeah, that was my pick. So, all righty,
I like it.
Moving on back to Derek. For pick number 3.
You guys
would you
never
believe
guess this one? You'll never
would you believe it's a Porsche?
Oh, Recti.
Sorry, not sorry, but yeah, that is going to take the cake for me as far as Hot Wheels goes for top picks. The Porsche GT3R. So this is a race car. It's 992 body. I was really excited when they did come out with the 992 GT3, but I was like, man, I don't know if they're going to come out with the RS or could they possibly come out with an R? And sure enough, they came out with the R, which is the race car that you see in IMSA. And yeah, it's just it's a fantastic model. This car is actually kicking butt in its class in real life this year. So super cool homage to it. And it's customizer's dream, especially if you like to customize Porsches like I do.
Mhm.
And if you like building race Porsches, because yeah, all you got to do is strip this thing down. I know it's kind of blasphemy stripping a beautiful Rexy livery off, but you can put endless real life GT3R liveries on this car. And yeah, I think they did a really, really sweet and sick job with this car.
So as
You
I
know-
understand it, this was the actual livery, right, Derek? That it
Yeah.
raced in.
Yeah, this is the actual livery. It does have two teammates now. It has oh god, I think what number, I'm trying to remember what, I think the teammate is number 76, and the really only difference is red mirrors, a little bit of red on where the number goes, the number badging is. I believe, if I remember right, Mini GT, they've already come out with this exact car. I believe they're coming out with the teammate car, which has red mirrors. And they're also coming out with the Roxy, which is also a real teammate car of this. So, but yeah, fantastic. Perfectly color matched wheels for the car too, which is real nice. It's not really IRL, you know, the real cars, they do have like black wheels or really dark gunmetal, but still really cool twist on that for sure.
It's a Hot Wheel.
It's a Hot Wheel.
Mhm.
But it's
Mhm.
funny. I hear people like, knock that car or the Hot Wheels version, but it's like it's a $6 car. Compare that to like a
Yeah,
Mini
no joke.
GT or even I don't know if Tarmac makes one, but Mini GT. I mean, for $6, it's really that's bang for your bucks right there. Because I mean, Hot Wheels actually did a really really good job on that, and the livery, spot on.
This has to
Absolutely.
be up there for 2024 cars that cause the most fist fights in Walmart too. I
Mhm.
would think.
Oh yeah, the Chase.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking to buy this Chase second market, I mean, it's what $200. It's crazy.
Yeah.
300
Roxy.
plus, 300 plus on
300?
most occasions.
Yeah.
Derek knows he bought two.
I wish. I wish I didn't have the what do you call that? The discipline to just
Yeah.
go out and buy those for that
Yeah.
much. But yeah, I don't.
So do you have Roxy, Derek?
I don't, unfortunately.
No, I
Yeah. You'll find one.
got you.
I have a spot sitting on my wall right next to the carded Rexy that I have up there now. We'll see if it gets filled though. But
Do you think
Right.
it's going to be the next Porsche Holy Grail?
I don't know. I mean, see, let me talk about this for a second. I think the reason why there's a couple of reasons why I think the price is so crazy for that Chase. One, it's not an all black premium Chase like it
First-
like they
first
usually
one.
are. Yeah, first non all black premium Chase.
Yep.
And for two, it seems like a lot of people in the US are having really, really tough luck pulling that Chase. I know people that have gotten to Walmart drops and there have been like 10, 12 cases and they got to them and nothing. They didn't even pull one. So I think it's kind of a flip flop on premium availability. Like, I don't know how many people have found that Pandem R32 Chase. I was lucky enough to find one. I think quite a few people have found them, but in Australia, they're finding them left and right. A lot of my
wild.
Aussie buddies have pulled like 6, 12, 15 of them. So they're
Jeez.
just
Wow.
absolutely loaded in those cases. But over here, it's still relatively harder to find. But I think that's why you see the drastic price difference between, for instance, the Roxy Chase, and even that Pandem R32. You can easily buy two of those for the price of one Roxy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think it's an availability issue, but also the color.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Phia.
Who's up? Phia
I
coming
think.
out of left field.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
one's. Yeah, you guys aren't gonna expect this one. Yeah, right there. It is the
So good.
Freightliner.
So good.
This is the other one I regret not getting this year.
Me too.
Yes. The reason why I chose this one over all the RLCs and and all the other Elite 64 is because if you try to get a transport that's a premium brand or a Freightliner or whatever as premium brand, you're looking at spending about $80 to $100, whereas Hot Wheels was able to make it available for that short time that was available for $50, plus shipping and stuff. And they did a great job with this one. The scaling is perfect. I mean, I don't have one myself because I missed out on the drop.
Yeah.
But I mean, the scaling on it is perfect. If you put your cars on there, I mean, it looks like it looks like it's the right size as supposed to be as a semi truck. I'm gonna get my hands on one of them soon though. But yeah, I think this one was probably the best online car that you could have gotten this year.
Yeah, I agree with this one. This one was the one that really I didn't think it would sell out so quickly because it was an elite. It wasn't even an RLC, and the elites usually they
I don't
make
think
a
they've
ton
ever
of them.
sold out.
Yeah, like you can buy a ton of the elites that have been out for months right now, and this one just was like gone
Now
immediately.
I've heard.
What's
I've
cool
heard that
about
they're
this one, guys?
coming.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you see this, you're like 2024, boom. Like it's rare that you can look at something and say, I know exactly when that one came out. Like that's kind of a cool legacy to have.
Go ahead, Phia.
Now I saw some leaked pictures. I want to say next year they're coming out with another one, but I think it was red from what I remember. So if you missed out on this one, there will be another Freightliner version coming out.
Yeah, I think the Toyota Chaser did sell out. You're right, Oldenburg. Yeah, but the other ones have been pretty well available. So yeah, and now it's and yes, it is. I believe this one is true 164 scale because elites are supposed to be all true 164. So it must have been weird for Hot Wheels to actually make a 164 scale semi for a change.
Oh yeah, there was that glitch too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was 3750 if you figure out how the Hot Wheels was. That's probably why another reason why they sold out. But yeah.
Yeah, Hot Wheels did a fantastic job on this, and you know what? I've been seeing a lot of people post this thing displayed with cars, specifically black premium chases.
Yeah.
Of this, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah. All right. David, your final pick.
All right, my last man. It's going to seem boring after seeing all this heat from you guys, but I went with them too. We got to give them some love every now and then.
Very nice.
I love having a really cool Buick Regal. I think this is going to be the same casting for the Grand National, if I read right.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a cool car, man. And it gets cooler and cooler every year that goes by. So they did a great job on this. There's a couple different colorways. I just love it. You can customize it and make your own training day version if you want, I guess.
Well, that was the 78. That was the previous generation, but yeah.
All right, my bad. I do like a clean stock ride. You guys know that. So, thoughts on a Buick Regal?
Fantastic.
Love it.
You have it in person?
I do have it. You got it here in front of me.
Is the headlight lensed or is that a decal? Because in this picture, it looks like it's like a decal.
1 second.
Pull it up. This looks like it is either crazy metallic. I don't know if it's gonna
dab it up, David. Dab it up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know why camera's not gonna work. I think this is going to be painted. I don't think it is lensed, but it is really, really well done. Take a look and see if you can find it online. Now, I'll tell you, maybe I'm wrong because the back is lensed. So, and if it's painted, it is really, really well done headlamps. So probably actually lensed.
Yeah, I think they're lensed.
You're looking at it?
Yeah, so I got the all white version with the red interior, which is just absolutely sweet.
I like that one better.
Yeah, this one is just too cool. All white, got the chrome wheels, the red interior, just screams 80s. Can't quite afford a Grand National, but you got the T-Type. So, well, this isn't even a T-Type. This is a Regal Limited. So this wouldn't even be the T-Type. This would have been just like the luxury version, the luxury cruiser version of that casting. So you've got the T-Type.
Yep.
I've got the version. This one would have even had probably the performance options. This would have just been like really well optioned, have all the power stuff on it. But yeah,
I think the headlamps, Phia, are lensed. The indicators below, it's a really well done.
Those are painted.
Metallic paint. So,
and a huge
I say M2s typically do lensed.
Yeah, and the rear taillights are lensed with painted backup lights. So.
Sean Taylor, I know you're watching. Come on, Diecast Breakdown. We're itching to get you in the booth here.
Huge shout out to Kendrick Lamar for naming his latest album GNX as well.
Nice.
There you go.
That was the one that they only made like 500 of them or something. Yeah. If you get a chance, what was that one? It was called like Black Wind or Black Shadow or something like that. The documentary that they made on those. There's a really cool documentary on the making of the Grand National and the GNX.
I need to watch it though.
Yeah, it's really good. Somebody in the comments can help me with that one. All right, my final pick, and I think this is one a lot of people forgot about as being one from 2024. This is the 85 Proton Saga mainline. And I think this one really screams 2024 for me. If I'm looking at, objectively trying to think of castings that really stood out, cartoons came along, they changed the game with their thing. M2's really stepped up their game. There's been a lot of really cool stuff from Power 64. There's been a lot of really cool stuff from AGT and Tarmac Works. But I think one of the really coolest things about 2024 was Hot Wheels finally doing a little nod to the people that have been making Hot Wheels cars for decades. And this was Malaysia's first production vehicle made in Malaysia car. Yes, it is based on a Mitsubishi, but the Proton Saga was still considered its own vehicle. It was manufactured in Malaysia, and there's a lot of national pride that goes into it. And they did a fantastic job on this casting. They made sure to include side mirrors, which is a very rare thing in Hot Wheels. It does technically have lensed headlamps because it uses the same plastic from the windshield to do the headlamps on it. And I just think it's a killer casting. They did a really good job of representing it. And I think it was a really nice nod to a country that has done so much for our hobby as well. A really cool tribute, really cool story. And, I heard it just was like insane pandemonium over there when it came out, because it was, this is such a matter of national pride for the people of Malaysia. So I just thought that was really cool.
No, you're right. Really cool. It's cool. So how do we feel about the Aero disc wheels? I'm not feeling those.
Not on that.
Not on that, no.
Though, I mean, I guess it's kind of like hubcaps, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for. It was, more straight up, whatever.
No, it's funny because here in America, people didn't understand why this was so popular. Like, I would read on the Facebook chats, like, why is everybody going after this? Like, it makes no sense. It's ugly cars. Like, well, you don't understand the backstory to it, Just like, this is a car made in Malaysia, or this is a Malaysian car that, it's very popular overseas, where in America, we don't, we never got this car, or most people have never even heard of it. So, the hype difference
kind of like a Ford Falcon to Australian fans.
Right, exactly. But yeah, and Jay Goldenberg brings up a good point. Why didn't they do a recolor or a premium? I was expecting a recolor in the middle of the year, and they did not do a white version of it, like Rico's saying. But yeah, I'm surprised it only kind of came out once, and they haven't really done anything else with it. I'm assuming it's got to come back. But maybe it was like they do those cars that only like the Chinese New Year cars that are a unique casting for the Year of the Dragon or whatever, and then they go away. But yeah, I don't know why they didn't. do a recolor of it. They should. I would love to have it in
Jason
different
and
colors.
Jason and Rico said that they did come out in the second color.
Oh,
I guess a
yeah.
white version.
There was a white version. Okay, there was a white version. I didn't see the white version, so I
Yeah, I
haven't
don't
seen that
remember
one
what
yet.
case that
So,
was.
So Derek, could you do a wide body kit on that and slam it?
I probably could, but man, it's gonna be some work.
It's a lot of effort for a saga.
getting
He
around
spent
those
so much
core
time.
top fenders.
Yeah.
Spent so much time thinking about how you could, you didn't stop and think about if you should.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually, I
We're gonna
think
have
I've seen someone actually do that already.
A
Yeah.
Proton Saga build off.
I'm surprised.
The white body, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised Yogi hasn't done one yet. But well,
It's in
maybe
the
he has. I don't know, but
Yeah, it's in the works.
I'm sure it's in the works. So
You know, Willie Z2A in the chat, he asked a really good question. He said, casting that will stand out for me will be the FL5 Honda Civic Type R. Wish they would have made it a mainline and championship white, though. I see that being a setup as possibly a future box diorama set, possibly.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good call, Willie.
I agree with him. It's great casting.
Yep, definitely.
Do you guys mind if I share something?
Yeah. What do you got, man?
Permission to screen share?
Permission to screen share granted. Do I have to grant it to you? Oh, there it is.
Who was lucky enough to get this bad boy?
No,
So a lot of people are
probably only you, Derek.
I was all over it, man. I was all over it. So a lot of people have been asking for quite a few years in the community, at least I've heard, when is somebody going to come out with a copy of Hertz Twerk Stallion? And if you don't know anything about Hertz Twerk Stallion, Hurt used to be probably arguably the biggest personality on Hoonigan before he left. And his car is quite iconic. It's gone over several remakes, and they finally came out with it. The launch was today, and it's sold out in about 15 minutes. And I was lucky enough to grab one. So I'm super excited to review this. It actually comes with two different sets of headlights that you can pop in and pop out. One of them is the lazy eye. The other one is fully closed. So that's pretty cool. And this is actually an Error 404 collaboration. So if you've ever had the opportunity, the gift to hold an Error 404 resin model in your hands, you guys know how good it is. This thing's going to be amazing. And apparently they're going to be coming out with a lot more renditions of Hertz FCRX7. So very, very cool.
Neat.
I was super excited to grab that.
That was quite the investment, but man, I think you're going to be pleased at the money spent on that, man. That looks stunning.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've gotten Error 404 models that cost, I think I have one that's north of $100. So, I mean, they're up there.
Those are they resin or diecast?
They're resin. Error 404 is resin, but they're great.
Once you get to that level.
They're absolutely amazing.
But hey, this isn't resin breakdown. What are we talking about?
It was a Derek takeover.
Maybe an alter ego of Diecast Media Network, maybe?
Resin breakdown would be a very short show. Like, we got these 5 cars.
It'd be expensive.
It'd be a very expensive show, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Resin breakdown.
Resin breakdown. That's an actual problem, though.
I've never held a resin one in my hand. Are they fragile?
Yeah, they're definitely not as robust as diecast. I mean, they're like virtually strictly just for display purposes. But yeah, the detail is it's unmatched. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very cool. Well, I think we've, did I get everybody? I think I got everybody.
I think we're good, man. Excellent choices, gentlemen.
All right. That was 2024 in a nutshell. And once again, we have made it so that it took an hour for us to talk about 12 cars. So fantastic. Well done, everybody.
Mission accomplished.
And, so we're going to draw the episode to a close. But before I do, I want to make sure that everybody, follows everybody. So, obviously you're following Derek over at Honest Diecast because he's rebroadcasting this right now. So thank you to everybody from the Honest Diecast stream that's tagging along with us. Shout out to Phia and Mad Visions. Go check out his channel. And of course, David's over at TWYCE Diecast. Been really grateful for David and all the work he's done for the channel during the last year, and we are really excited about what's coming up in 2025. I did buy my plane ticket. It is official. I am going to Vegas. So I will be at Diecast SuperCon hanging out with anyone who cares to be there. So as will David, as will Mark. Hopefully, we'll see Derek as well, and Navy Phia if he wins the lottery.
I would have been there.
Yeah,
Would have been
but
there.
it would have been there. But
Missing out.
would have, should have.
Yeah.
Well, next year, Phia will go. So,
definitely.
all right. Well, thank you, folks. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Thank you for making it to the end of another episode of Diecast Breakdown. If you want to do all the button pushing right now, that would be really great. And if you're over at Derek's channel and you want to pop over to Diecast Media Network and give us a little like and subscribe, that would be awesome. We also have an audio feed. If you want to listen to us talk about tiny cars and not actually see what we're talking about, you can do that. And there are people that do it. I don't know why they do it, but they do, and we're grateful for it. So again, check out diecastbreakdown.com for merch. You can buy merch like what David's wearing. You can't buy merch like what I'm wearing because it's special to David's channel and Derek as well. So check it out. People like our stuff, and Justin, our designer, does a great job with coming up with all sorts of cool designs for the Diecast Media Network shop over at diecastbreakdown.com or diecastmedianetwork.com. So as always, we want to thank you for coming along with us for the ride. So until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags.